Hi, it's Ryan 1988. Justin, I'm with the lovely Renee Woodley.
Just go eat some Skittles.
Hi, I'm Lisa Wilcox from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. I play Alice Johnson, and you are watching Ryan 1988. Go eat some Skittles.
This is Judith O'Day from the original Night of the Living Dead. Ryan 1988. Go eat some Skittles.
Hi, this is Danielle Harris. You're watching Ryan 1988. Now go eat some Skittles.
Hey, this is TJ Wilson. You are watching Ryan 1988. So totally eat some Skittles.
Ryan 1988, I'm with Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins has to say, go eat some Skittles.
Werewolves, vampires. They're not real. But he is a real nightmare. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance. Halloween 2.
What's up, awesome YouTubers? Ryan1988 or Justin back here to do a video for you all. I hope you're all doing well out there, and happy Halloween to you all. It is Halloween 2025, and I hope you're all having a great day out there, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I am wrapping up my countdown to Halloween videos, and today we are talking about, in honor of Halloween, Halloween 2 from 1981. So Halloween 2 is a continuation of the same night that took place in John Carpenter's Halloween. So it's one big movie, in my opinion. This is the best way to watch the movies, is watching Carpenter's Halloween and then putting on Halloween 2. That's the way I watch it, and I absolutely love it. But as far as the movie goes, Halloween 2 is one of my favorite sequels, and it's my favorite horror movie sequel. I love this movie. In my eyes, it's a perfect movie. I know some people would disagree with that, but like Carpenter's movie, that's a perfect movie. You know, you can always talk about and nitpick the John Carpenter's cigarette smoke coming into the lens and everything, but I don't see that. I mean, I see it, but I don't nitpick stuff like that. For me, Carpenter's Halloween is my favorite movie of all time, and I absolutely love it. And I have the same feelings about Halloween 2. I absolutely love it. You know, I was introduced to both movies on the same night. USA 1997. You know, I watched Carpenter's Halloween on TV, and then I watched Halloween 2 right away. My mom's a big fan of these movies, so I fell in love with these movies because of her. And, you know, as a kid, if you were going to dive into horror movies, you always watched them on TV. You know, they were the edited versions. They cut out all the stuff that, you know, you didn't need to see as a kid, or they didn't want you to see as a kid. And they added, you know, dubbing in it, and they added, you know, new scenes to extend the movie. So they kind of changed it up a little bit, but I have a lot of my memories watching the Halloween franchise through USA, Sci-Fi, AMC. Like, that's the way I watched them for the longest time until I got them on DVD. Then I got the VHS tapes, you know, got the Blu-rays, got the 4K, so, you know, yeah, you know, going back to what I was talking about, Halloween and Halloween 2 are just, in my eyes, perfect movies. I love them. So the plot of Halloween 2, again, takes place on the same night as the original movie. Laurie Strode is taken to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and Michael finds out where she is, and of course he's going to go after her. In the movie, you find out that they are actually brother and sister. This was something that John Carpenter had never intended to do. He never thought that there would be a sequel to Halloween, but when the studio came to him, he had to figure out a way to continue the story and bring something new to it. And so this idea that Michael Myers and Laurie Strode were brother and sister was a twist towards the end of the film. There was a reasoning for why Michael was going after Laurie now. You know, in the original film, that was never the idea. As a kid, I always thought that that was the idea because I saw these movies in '97, so I assumed that's what Carpenter wanted to do with the characters eventually, was adding them or making them brother and sister, you know, in his story, in Halloween 2. But again, that was never the intentions in the original. It was, you know, pretty much a stalk and slash movie. He was going to go after these 3 teenagers that he saw one day, and he knew that that was going to be his victims. But in Halloween 2, they did give a reason why Michael Myers was going after Laurie Strode. So, you know, and along the way, you're introduced to brand new characters. They all work at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. Every character I really either love or really enjoy in this movie. Even the obnoxious ones, you know, you're not really supposed to like them, but you like them anyway. Like Bud. But they're great characters. They have great dialogue with each other. Like, you just see the chemistry there, the friendships there. You know, these are people that, you know, you work with every day with each other. You know, it just gives off that vibe. And I love that. Again, it goes into the writing from the original film where, you know, Laurie, Annie, and Linda were just like the friends and their chemistry just worked. In my opinion, it's like that with Halloween 2, and I really love the new characters that are introduced into this movie. Some things I love about the film, I love the atmosphere. It's not my favorite Halloween movie, it's my second favorite, but I'll say this right now, I think it's the scariest Halloween movie, mostly because of the atmosphere and setting. I love the setting taking place in a hospital. I think as it goes along, it gets scarier and scarier in the hospital. You know, in the beginning of it, all the lights are on, and, you know, obviously there's a lot more staff there, but as the staff start dying off, the hospital gets darker, and Michael's roaming the hallways searching for Laurie, so it becomes really scary. I love Dick Warlock as Michael Myers in this movie. He is either my second favorite or he's in the top 3 somewhere. I think it's Nick Castle, James Dew Courtney, and Dick Warlock. But there's something about Dick Warlock as Michael that really stands out, and that is, you know, he, you know, is a slow walker roaming the hallways of this hospital. And you would not think that he would be able to catch up easily, but he's able to track down these people and track down a Laurie eventually and go after them. You know, he doesn't stop. Even when you think he's going to stop and he's taken down, he keeps going, like Michael normally does. But I really loved Dick Warlock's portrayal of Michael in this movie. He is just so great in the film and so scary and mean, you know, talking about characters and the deaths in this movie now. The deaths really were, you know, they were expanded in this movie, you know, where in the original film they're a little bit more subtle. In this movie, you know, they're a lot more brutal. They're a lot more dark. Michael is mean in this movie, and he's scary when he's going after these people. You know, some of the deaths that really stand out for me are, you know, Nurse Karen's death. Like, that's the biggest one. The hospital hot tub, you know, death in the movie. Right when Bud dies, you then have Nurse Karen, and she thinks that Michael is Bud for a little bit. She doesn't see his face at first, you know, and then when she turns around, she sees who it is, and Michael just dunks her head into that hot tub several times, and it kills her. You know, her face boils and it kills her. So the scariest death in the movie for sure. The most brutal one, definitely. There's a lot, though, that, are just pretty creepy in this movie. Nurse Jill's death when Michael takes the scalpel and, just, lifts her up. Very creepy. And then he goes after Laurie. They, meet face to face again. So just a lot of great ones. Again, I like the expansion of the story. I love how the movie not only continues on the same night, but you are adding the brother-sister reveal, and you're bringing back characters like Dr. Loomis, who I think does a great job here. Donald Pleasance is amazing, especially in Halloween 1 and 2. And then you're introduced to, Nancy Stevens again. She had a brief appearance in the first movie. She has a bigger part in this film. She has a lot of her screen time with Dr. Loomis, Donald Pleasance, and they're great together on screen. And I really enjoy Nancy Stevens in this movie. I think she does a great job in the film. So story-wise, I love it. Character-wise, I love it. Acting is great. A lot of people criticize Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie. It really has to do with the writing, just because a lot of the time she is lying in a hospital bed, not talking. But the third act with her and her chase scene is so good. Once you get to that third act, it is Laurie and Michael, and Laurie is running, and she's terrified, and she has a great chase scene throughout that third act. It goes on and on and on, and I love it. So the tension is great there, and I love that. The scares are great. I love that. So, other reasons why I love this movie, there's really no negative things about this movie that I can talk about. There's none. I love Rick Rosenthal as a director. He's not Carpenter. Carpenter is iconic, but Rick Rosenthal did such a wonderful job with this movie, directing it. I was really happy with his direction in this film. And he would go on to come back with Halloween Resurrection, which is a lot of people's least favorite movie in the franchise. A lot of people hate it. I don't hate it. I've always enjoyed it. I really enjoy the movie. But it's no Halloween 2 when it comes to both Rick Rosenthal's movies. This is the best one. I love Alan Warnoth's, hopefully I'm saying that right, his, part in composing this music. You're taking that iconic John Carpenter score from the original, and then you're using, the synth sound that was introduced in the 80s. And he did such a great job. It makes everything just 10 times more creepier. So I love that. For me, Halloween 2 is without a doubt my favorite horror movie sequel. It's my second favorite movie in the Halloween franchise. I talked about in the beginning of this. This is a perfect double feature with John Carpenter's Halloween. Shout out to Deborah Hill, rest in peace. She deserves some love. She had a big part in this movie. She had a big part working with Carpenter during those early days, and she went on to have an amazing career for herself, and she's missed by a lot of people in the industry and by a lot of fans of the Halloween franchise. So she had an influence with the movie. She was a part of it. Talking about John Carpenter real quick, he is not a fan of this movie. He has went out to say that he's not a fan. But, he wrote a great script. I think it's personally a great script. I love the reveal of the brother-sister storyline again. And he also added a lot of the deaths in this movie. He directed a lot of the kills, Rick Rosenthal wanted this to be subtle, like with the original. He wanted it not to be over the top and brutal. And Carpenter went and, directed some of these gory kills that are in the movie. So even though he doesn't like this film, he is a part of this film. And I think he did a great job with his part. I think everybody does a wonderful job. And again, for me, this is, a perfect Halloween movie. It's perfect with the original. Again, watch it together. It's awesome. And, if you just watch alone, it's awesome. So, but yeah, Halloween 2 on 4K. This is amazing. There's a new Steelbook out there. You can grab that if you can't get your hands on the standard 4K. I know, this hard shell box, this, nice box is out of print now. But I love it. And, There's the iconic pumpkin there. I love the opening, by the way. Great opening where the pumpkin splits up and you see the skull inside of it. That's awesome. I have a lot of editions of Halloween 2. I might show those off in the future. You have seen them in, videos years back. But I have a lot of different editions of Halloween 2. And here real quick, you got the OG, not the OG, but you got a Halloween 2 Myers mask. And I, added a lit up pumpkin there. So, very cool. But anyway, happy Halloween to you all. I hope you loved this video. Please like and comment. It helps out the channel a lot. I'd really appreciate that. I thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel as always. If it wasn't for you, I probably would not be doing this so long. But we're going on almost 17 years, so I appreciate you all. And I hope you loved the Countdown to Halloween videos. Expect a lot more reviews. I have a Shelby Oaks review coming up soon. And I have a lot more reviews, obviously, in the future. And a lot more videos. So, movie updates, so on and so on. Live streams coming up. So, there's going to be a lot coming your all's way. And once again, just thank you for the love and support. And happy Halloween. So, as always, you all are awesome. You all rock. In with the positive, out with the negative. And I'll talk to you later. And much love to you all. Bye.